So one of the main things that we go about was we're planning a trip to these beautiful cityscapes. Is how we're actually going to get to and from the airport and how we're actually going to get around in general altogether. Because normally with these kind of cityscapes, we're either booking like the accommodation or the flights. We're not actually booking those package holidays where we're going to be getting those transfers from the airport. But there's one thing with Berlin, it makes it all super easy with their Berlin travel passes. These are absolutely fantastic. And they're only fantastic because of how good the transportation system in Berlin actually is. Now, we were actually there for 5 days, and whilst we were actually on holiday there, we'd done the city, like the main city centre, and we also went out to the outskirts and the outer boundaries of Berlin, which is all included in the actual travel pass that we actually purchased. So it was absolutely brilliant. One price for everything. You could travel as much as you possibly wanted. And also with that as well, is once we landed in Berlin airport on the first day, you go down this escalator in this beautiful, modern, sophisticated airport, but there's actually a mainline train station at the bottom, and that takes you straight into center of Berlin. I think these trains run every few minutes. And as you're traveling down into central Berlin, there's loads of train stations along the way. So depending on where you want to stay or where your accommodation is, you can just jump off at any of those points. And even if, like, say it's a little bit further away than you actually want to travel to, you can actually use this pass to then jump on a tram or a bus and to actually then get to your accommodation. Now, for us personally, whilst we got off at our train station, which was pretty much in the center of Berlin, our accommodation was only about 5 minutes away. So it was very simple indeed. And it was very simple indeed the whole time whilst we were actually there, because one of the biggest things I will say in regards to, it doesn't matter if you're catching a tram, a train, a bus, or the underground station, there is constant, like trains, trams, and that lot every 2 to 3 minutes. If we missed a train by a couple of minutes and that lot walking back to, after doing a bit of shopping and one else, there was just another one coming by. And it's just constant all the time. And this was mainly in the actual center of Berlin. So if you're going on, say, you want to go for a nice walk, you want to go see Checkpoint Charlie, you want to go see, the Potsdam Plaza, Berlin Wall, all these kind of places, and you're going on a nice walk and that lot, but you don't want to walk back. There's so many ways of actually getting back through these underground stations and these trams and that lot. It just makes it super easy that, you're not worried about, if I walk, miles this way, how are we actually going to get back? We have to get a taxi. There's none of that in Berlin whatsoever. It's just super efficient. And like I say, this is in center Berlin, absolutely fantastic. But this also goes with, the boundaries of Berlin and also just on the outskirts as well. Because like I say, we wanted to try and see and do as much as we possibly could. And after being in Berlin, obviously a lot of history of World War II, I really felt the need to actually want to go and see the concentration camp. Now, the concentration camp lies just on the outskirts of the Berlin boundary itself. It takes about 40 minutes on the train. But the actual, like I say, the travel pass that we actually brought is all included. So you go out there, and if you don't actually walk to the concentration camp, you can actually catch like a bus or a tram. And it takes around about 5 to 10 minutes, and you're straight there at the front door. So it's super efficient. And then also on another day, we went down to the Potsdam, which is located once again just outside of Berlin. Another 45 minute train journey. But you can go down there, you catch a bus then to these beautiful palaces. You can walk around these absolutely stunning grounds. But the thing with these grounds, they're absolutely massive. But the good thing is you can walk all the way through. And at the end of these palaces and that lot, there's actually a train station, and you can catch that back to Potsdam. Saves you walking miles all the way back again. So you're back at the start, and then you can take a little trip into the Dutch Quarter on a tram, which I will say highly recommend going to see that. It's a little bit of the Netherlands inside of Berlin. And like I say, all this is included. Then we also went out to Ruhr, which is absolutely stunning. And that's right next to the East Side Gallery, which is probably one of the highest touristy places in Berlin because it's the largest stretch of the Berlin Wall that's still remaining. But also with that, you can get straight back onto a train at that same train station. Go down and you can go see the beautiful Soviet War Memorial, and you come out at this train station, you go straight into the park straight away. There's no messing around. You go see that, and then at the back of there, there's a beautiful like island, got a river, little park, and they got these hot tubs floating down the island, around the island on these hot tubs and that lot, if you want to have a go on that. And then once you're done and walk around the park, you can actually then catch a bus from the actual end all the way back to the train station, jump straight on your train, and then boom, straight back into main Berlin, and you go straight back to your accommodation or whatnot else, wherever you want to go. It honestly just made it so good. The efficiency of how well it worked was absolutely brilliant. Now, with these passes also is that you can book up any number of days. I think up to about 6 days, I think you can actually book up. Like I say, we were there for 5 days and it cost us £55 each. Like I say, that was transfers to and from the airport, all these places that we actually went to, and, you know, buses, trams, everything. So I personally, for me, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It cost us like 11, 12 quid a day. But also with that, and the biggest thing as well, is if you're going out with a family or anything else like that, you've got kids who are under 14, those kids can travel for free with you. So you buy that pass, those kids can come on the train with you and for free. So basically then you're spending 5, 6 quid each for a whole day of cashing train trams and making your life just super easy. Because bearing in mind, a lot of these places are free to go to as well. The concentration camp is free, the palaces are free, the actual grounds that you walk around, the Dutch Quarter walking around there, the Soviet War Memorial, all these places are free as well. So it just makes it for a super efficient holiday. And if you don't want a costly one, it makes it for a cost-efficient holiday as well, and you don't have to worry about overpriced taxis or anything else like that. So I would highly recommend that if you want to travel to Berlin and you want to get around, to get the Berlin Travel Pass. Sack the car off, you do not need it. Normally we will book a car up, but we left it alone and no regrets whatsoever. But I'm going to be doing a lot more on Berlin and other places that I travel, including some history and other things like that. So if you feel free to subscribe, if you want to come and see any more of my videos, if you can drop a like, it'd be absolutely amazing. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. See you in the next one.